suit and tie and get your hair cut way up high. Get yourself a lawyer, son. You're gonna need a real good one.
And indeed, that is what we have in the studio, as we always do at this time on a Tuesday morning. David Whiting, Melbourne solicitor, joins you. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Ali.
It was a homework-free zone for you.
It was. I had a very quiet week. It was bliss. Yep.
Very lucky. And I do just want to say to people, absolutely disconnected to this segment, but we were talking before the news about donating to people who where one should send money if you wish to, or any assistance regarding the Turkey earthquake. And UNICEF is a good place to go, or the Turkish Red Crescent, which is part of the International Red Cross. Save the Children as well is taking donations. So there are three particular options that you might want to take if you'd like to give assistance. Of course, that death toll now is over 3,500. It's just devastating, isn't it, David?
Absolutely.
And if you look at the pictures and then the infrastructure challenges, the weather challenges, it's not good. 1300 222 774 is the number if you have a legal question for David Whiting, which Carol in Geelong has. Hi, Carol.
Oh, hello, Ellie, hello, David.
Keep talking.
Okay, right. I have a problem or an issue with a breeder. A puppy was bought in Tasmania for a significant amount of money, and noticed that there was a malalignment of the jaw. Had it taken to my vet and worked out that there was the jaw was
an underbite.
malaligned.
Yes.
Underbite, exactly.
Yep.
And notified the breeder, and they said that it was a traumatic due to trauma. Then took it to another vet who said it definitely was a birth defect. Been in touch with a person who owns a puppy from a similar, from the same litter, and that dog has also got the same issue. I'm just wondering, the puppy will need extra orthodontic specialist care, which will cost also a lot of money.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, is there any recompense that we could perhaps approach the breeders about? Is there any legality?
Absolutely. Except you can't do it at VCAT and you can't do it at the Tasmanian equivalent. So it's the Magistrates Court in Tasmania or the Magistrates Court here, and that's because you're residents of different states.
Right,
so
I
it's
understand that.
It's the same it's the same legislation. It's technically it's in here it's the Fair Trading Act, and it's similar in Tassie. But you can't use those. But you run in the Magistrates Court in either place. The question then becomes, though, is that there are lots of purebred dogs that are known to have particular defects that relate to the breed of animal. So as they make them pure
these
pure...
are the long-snouted dogs, so it's not like a pug or anything like that.
Yep.
It's a shepherd type dog.
Yeah,
so,
I profess no expertise in any particular...
No.
I'm not on the kennel count.
What's the law
Sure.
that Carol would use?
Effectively what she's got what I'll call damaged goods or defective goods. And if Carol had bought or acquired the dog in circumstances where the defect was known and made apparent, then Carol would have no response. If Carol bought, I'm buying an X that had a known defect, then the known defect needed to be declared and in some way adjusted in the price. Or the price is, this is the dog, there are some issues, you've got to buy it as it is.
Should Carol not first try...
She has tried the breeder, and the breeder is told it's
no, I beg your pardon, David. No, we haven't actually. I just thought I'd get my
Get your ducks lined up.
No. Then the answer is yes. You go back to the breeder and you say that the dog doesn't meet standard. The dog doesn't match its description appropriately. Right? It's got a defect which is going to cost money to treat.
Carol, is it a good dog?
Oh, well, she's just beautiful, and of course she's now quite attached to us and her other doggy siblings. So it would be quite traumatic for both us and the dog to have to potentially give her back, or, it's going to cause a lot of expense to fix her up. So we have got a very emotional decision to make if the breeder isn't willing to help us.
You have. Carol, good luck with that. That is certainly it's a different case, isn't it?
Yes.
Haven't heard one like that. Tim in Apollo Bay. Hi, Tim.
Hi there, David. Thank you for taking my call. We've got a bit of a problem in Apollo Bay because Gorkappa, the new Great Ocean Road Authority, has closed a path in the middle of town, and I was wanting to know whether there's a process that they should follow to close a public path, because they haven't consulted or informed anybody. And I do know that they've got a legal obligation to engage the community, which they haven't done. But I'm not sure. We had a big public meeting on Saturday, but I'm not sure where we go from here.
Tim, I was desperate for homework. I've now got it. I'll tell you what it's required. It's in the township of Apollo Bay?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
on the foreshore.
Yes. And the Foreshore Authority has closed a path. Now, I'm quite sure they have a power to close the path. The question is, there is a process they need to go through first. I'll let you know next week.
There you
They
go, Tim.
haven't told anybody yet.
Well, they must have, because you know.
Well, they said on Saturday that it was closed.
Oh, there you go. They told everybody at the meeting.
Yeah, but they haven't told anybody else.
Okay.
Tim.
They will, Tim. You're just first.
Tune in next Tuesday, and David's very good with his homework. He always does it, so he will give you the answer on Tuesday. 1300 222 774 is the number. Desley in Forest Hill. Hi, Desley.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning, David. Look, my query is to do with the Whitehorse Council decision of October last year to withdraw aged care services from our local council.
Can I ask, though, Desley, they haven't actually withdrawn the services. They now outsource it. So they're no longer, the people who fulfil the service are no longer paid employees of the council, but the service is still available inside the council area, but provided by private enterprise funded by the council?
Yeah, it's probably the outsourcing.
Yes.
That they're going to transition people like me to an outsourced provider who is going to be a private provider.
Yes.
Which takes away my choice of having council provider. And outsourcing within aged care has been absolutely appalling.
So, Desley, what's your question for David?
Well, really what I want to know is their decision legal? It was done in camera, supposedly for industrial relations reasons,
yes.
But there is also...
I would all, Desley, I would all but guarantee that the approach taken by council is lawful.
And they're not the only council who have done this.
There a couple of nearby ones have done it as well. What they're doing, Desley, is they're simply saying, from our perspective, from the point of view of all of the residents of Forest Hill, it's not efficient for us to do it. We can get a better return for our dollar by outsourcing it. Now, you're entitled to disagree, but my view would be that the process is lawful, and I don't see that you've got an obligation. There may be an obligation to the Local Government Act for the council to provide these services, but whether they provide it by way of subcontractors or employees is really a choice for council.
For them. Desley, I'm sorry about that. Probably not the answer that you were looking for.
No.
Bert, sorry, I've lost Desley there now. Bert in South Gippsland, good morning.
Good morning, David and Ali. Look, I'm ringing about our church. It has a new incorporated set of rules, or rules of incorporation, that don't mention a trustee, but we do have one trustee left. The other two have died.
Oh,
We're not sure that
this is the title to the church.
That's
Is that
right. Yeah.
Okay. There's this wonderful piece of legislation called the Religious and Successory Trusts Act. So you will find that there is probably an obligation on the existing trustee to appoint new trustees.
Okay.
Now, but on the other hand, if the church is incorporated now, it might be possible for the incorporated body to hold the title to the church, but it's a bit messy. because each religious group has a different policy or process for the holding of the titles to land. But back in the old days, there were trustees appointed. You saw them for Masonic lodges, you saw them for churches, you saw them for just about everything. And there's an expectation that there will be replacement trustees appointed.
Okay, so the new incorporated rules don't automatically take over, and so we need to go through some sort of process to make new arrangements with the trustees. There
will be a trust deed signed by the trustees when the property was acquired. Okay. There may also be, depending on its age, there may even be an order of the Governor and Council vesting that particular piece of land in trustees for the purposes of. So if the trustees are, and I was involved, I had a client who bought a property on land that at some point had been owned by the Baptists and allocated by a order of the Governor and Council. So it may be that if the order in Council says it's to trustees for the benefit of, that would probably prevent the property being transferred to the Incorporated Association. You have a lovely question, but no answer.
Thank you, Bert. Hey, a question on text. I know we don't often take text questions, but I find this interesting. Mark says, why do I have no right, according to police, to see my roadside breathalyzer result?
I think you do if they're proposing to do something with it, but I don't believe that you do if they're not. In fact, no, it's only a preliminary. It's not proof of anything other than we're going to take you inside and give you a proper one. But
I'm fascinated by that. As in, if you blow 0.01 or 0.02.
Yes, and you say, well, it's only 0.02. I can have another one before I get home. Is that your suggestion?
No, but is that why they don't?
I don't know. But okay. If again, more homework.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Thanks for that, Mark, giving homework. Caroline in Burwood. Hi, Caroline.
Oh, good morning. Last year, my husband and I purchased a ring for a significant birthday, and about 3 days
his or yours, Caroline?
Mine.
Okay.
Mine. Yeah. And about 3 days after I'd picked it up, after it had been made, a stone had fallen out. So I returned it. They remade the ring. Then just after Christmas, I noticed another stone had fallen out. Took it back. They've now come back to me and said, I've bumped it, so I've damaged the setting somehow.
Yep.
I only wear it once or twice a week,
mm-hmm.
And I just want a refund. I don't think it's worth keeping. What can I do?
I would be taking it to another jeweller to see about perhaps resetting the stones or reinforcing. See, it's kind of like I've got a car that works almost all of the time, but I'm irritated by the sun visor. It doesn't give you the right to take the car back.
Mm.
So it's really a question: is a reasonable outcome a repair, or is it so useless that it needs to be replaced?
Right. Okay.
So my view is it will have cost you a few bob. So I would be inclined to take it to another jeweller and say, got a problem. It just doesn't seem to be holding in the mounts. And I think that would be a better spend of your time and money.
Mm. Caroline, good luck with that one. Mark in Langwarrin. Hi, Mark.
Good morning. I bring a dreaded fencing question to your attention. My wife and I own an investment property at backs onto a very large caravan park. There's about 25 or 30 other neighbours also backing onto the park. About 12 months ago, they notified us they wanted to replace our rear fence. Many of the other fences were dilapidated and falling down, but we'd actually replaced our fence maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and it was straight as a die. We had a meeting with the manager. They agreed that our fence didn't need to be replaced. Some 8 to 10 months later, the fencing contractor has come in and replaced all of the fences, including ours.
Yes.
We have brought that to their attention. They have subsequently changed management in between it and have no records of our meeting with the original management. We're now receiving demands for payment for around $1,000 for a fence that didn't need replacing.
Can I ask, Mark, is the concern the fence replacement or the request for funding?
The request for funding. I think the fence was as straight as a die. It did not require replacement.
I would hope it was straight, but my view is you don't have to pay. Right? Unless there's an agreement or a fencing order made by a magistrate's court, you have no obligation to pay. And if they want to take it further, they need to head off to a magistrate's court to argue that the fence needed to be replaced. And
well, in that case, David, thank you. I'll leave it in their hands.
Well, I do think that I'd go back to them and recite the conversation, say there was nothing wrong with the quality of the fence, here's some pictures that we took, not doing anything, and leave it to them.
Mark, thank you, and good luck with that. Karen in Lower Plenty. Hi, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. I've got a problem with a tenant. We've tried to do our annual inspection, and we've tried numerous times, and she's changed the dates. The agent and I, my husband, went a few months ago now. The agent couldn't get in. She's changed the locks, so we don't know where we stand in this. Like, we're entitled to.
She's changed the locks. How does that work?
Yeah.
Well, that happens. What does the lease say, Karen?
In respect to what?
Well, you clearly have a right to inspect under the residential tenancies legislation.
Yeah.
But I rented property at one stage, and I got horribly irritated by a notice from the agent that made an appointment that involved them turning up sometime between 10 and 4. And if someone's making an inspection of my property, they are entitled to make an appointment, and an appointment is not 6 hours long.
Oh, no, we made an appointment for 10 o'clock.
Then you can make another appointment and you can go to VCAT for an order.
Okay, well, she's been issued with 2 penalty notices, one for changing the locks and not providing a key to the agent.
Yes.
And I can't remember what the other one was about, but she has not acknowledged those, hasn't paid them, is not returning emails, not answering her phone.
What do you want to do? Do you want to terminate the lease? What's the end?
Well, she pays her rent. This is our problem. She pays her rent on time.
Yes.
But we just want to go in and see. We know there's work to be done. We can see there's mould on Venetian blinds. So,
well, you can still then to me it's an application to VCAT for an order, and with a request that she pay the costs.
Okay. Now, what if with the new legislation we've got to get gas, electric, and
yes, you've got to update the quality of the premises. Yes.
Yep. What if she refuses entry into these people?
Well,
now, she does have
that can
slight
go
mental health issues.
But they can go back to getting an order from VCAT,
go back
can't
to
it?
Perhaps you might cover that in the one application to VCAT and cover everything.
Karen, good luck with that. And David, so if a tenant changes the locks, that's okay, as long as they give you a key?
Well, no. Well, the agent's entitled to a key. The owner's entitled to a key. I can imagine there are lots of tenants who, for security reasons, don't want lots of people to have keys to the property. So, from a landlord's point of view, you really want the keys at the end and the start rather than during the course of.
Gosh, I rented for 20 years until very recently, and I never thought of changing the locks.
Okay,
I'm obviously
just a trusting person.
Yeah, it must be. Paul in Newport. Hi, Paul.
Hey, David. Just a quick one. I got a tiling job done about a month ago. Wasn't happy with the work. Spoke to the tile and said, can you come back and fix it? He said, no, it's not my problem, and demanded payment. I subsequently refused to pay him and got an expert out, a third-party building inspector, and he said, you're right to withhold payment, Paul. What I really want to know is what's his next step in terms if he comes back to me again?
Well, Paul, let me ask you, what are you going to do?
Well, you've
really got 2 choices.
Yes,
you can come along and say, I'm going to fix it and the cost of fixing it is X, and I'll deduct that from the payment I'm going to make to you, and we can have an argument about that. In which case, I want the job done properly, I'm happy to pay full price, and if it's got to be spread between 2 people, then so be it. Or is Paul going to say, it's not a job that I'm particularly happy with, but I'm going to put up with it, in which case you would logically pay him an appropriate amount of money for what you regard to be a second-rate job. So what are you going to do?
Well, I've tried to negotiate with him on the first hand when it was crooked. I said, can you come back and fix it? He said, no. Then I said to him, well, I'm going to take some money off the bill because I need to fix it. He said, no, I want full payment. Then I got an expert out, a building inspector.
Yes.
And he said to me, it's worse, Paul, than even you think, and I would withhold payment. So I probably have to knock it all down again, but that includes then I have to waterproof it, fix the walls up, pay for all the tiles again, and the cost to do that is more than what he wants.
Then I think if the advice you've got from a building inspector is that the job needs to be redone, then the job needs to be redone.
Okay, so I should withhold payment then from him and not pay.
Well, yes, provided you go on with "and I'm fixing it." If you turn around and say, but in actual fact, yes, it's a rubbishy job, but I'm not going to get it fixed, then why shouldn't you pay him some money for a job that you regard to be second rate?
Okay, that's fine. But, sorry, in terms of that, so if I knocked it all down again and I redid it all, and then can he come back at me after
yes, he can,
it's all been
but then you can go back, but you'll be taking pictures as you go, and in the event that he issues proceedings in the Magistrates Court, you get them moved to VCAT. If he issues proceedings in VCAT, then your defence is, then you actually are now bringing an action against him for the cost of the second tradesperson to do the job.
Yeah. Joe has been very patient, so I just want to quickly see if we can answer Joe's question. Hi, Joe. Joe in Richmond.
Top of the morning, David and Ali. I have a friend who's going through the work cover process. She had a claim for medication and medical expenses awarded against the insurance company 5 years ago.
Was it against the insurance company or the employer?
No, against the insurance company.
Okay.
It was part of the work cover process.
Yes.
So she's been paying $30,000 plus for lots of treatment because they won't pay it, and it's against the magistrate's court orders. She can't afford legal action. She's incredibly unwell. She wants to know if the insurance company is ignoring the magistrate's court orders, what right does she have? Are they perjuring? Are they breaching an order, etc.?
Or you could argue that they were in contempt, but that requires you to go to court to argue the contempt. Right. I would take a different strategy, Joe. Yes. We technically only have one insurer for work claims in Victoria.
Yes.
And they appoint a number of insurance companies to act as claims agents and claims managers.
Yes.
Why would you not complain to Work Cover Authority about what you consider to be inappropriate conduct by one of their claims managers for failing to abide by a court order?
She's contacted the authority and they say you have to take it up with the insurance
company.
Good.
Then your option is that you go to the Magistrates Court on a contempt application, but we're talking about 5 years of contempt, it would appear.
Yes.
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 That's the only route.
Okay.
Well, that's the recourse. You go, fail to abide by a court order, back to court.
Joe, good luck with that one. David, thank you.
Thank you.
I shall look forward to your completed homework and seeing you next Tuesday.
I've got 3 lots. I'm going to be very tired. Thank you
are. David Whiting there. He'll be back next Tuesday with the answers to those questions.